All right, y'all, let us get started. Hop on this crazy train with me. Um, I am currently playing with the idea, as we can see, of revamping my YouTube channel. Um, Still toying with the name, thinking we're going to go with My Life Between Two Docks. So, welcome to episode 1. My name is Lauren. I'm coming to you from the East Coast of the U.S., Mid-Atlantic area, where it is currently very hot. I've currently got a moment here where it's a little quiet, so I thought I would give this a whirl, see how it goes. I did take some notes. Not a big note taker, but we tried. Pardon me if I happen to look out the window to see if anybody's coming. Um, I am expecting Amazon packages, so. All right, well, we'll start with kind of the obvious here. Um, what I'm wearing. Uh, we'll start with that, and then we'll kind of work through our what we're working on and what I have recently finished. I don't work that quickly, so I'm hoping to maybe do this on a monthly basis, but that's still up in the air. Um, but as far as what I am wearing, I completed this a little bit ago, probably a year or two ago. I'm not sure at this point what is time. The pattern name is the Eyelet Lace Tee. This is by Hannah Cross of Hand Jan Crochet, and it's a free pattern available on her blog. And looking at it, it said it was last updated in April of 26. Like I said, I did this a few years prior, so I'm not sure what all the updates were. For me, it was a very clear pattern, very, I would say, beginner friendly. I'm not a beginner, but as far as trying to do garments, I would say very much a beginner. At this point, I have 3 crocheted tops, and that's about the extent of where I have gone. I can't knit to save my life, so there will be no knitting here. Wishes of knitting, but I cannot get both hands to work at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to. My bucket wish list item would be to learn how to knit the Musselburgh hat. I think that's by You Sold a Tig. Don't quote me. Everybody else would know that because they knit, but I don't knit. But man, I have got the most perfect yarn from our anniversary, and it's just sitting there waiting for me to pull that together. But I digress. Okay, so this tee here is largely, I believe, single crochet and treble crochet, if memory serves me correctly. I almost exclusively do things in a granny square fashion, so I do double crochet is my jam. But I think this is treble, which is close enough for me. It is seamed, so it is a front panel and a back panel, and they're identical, and then you seam it along the shoulders and along the side. There is an eyelet pattern here, as you can see. It looked like it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if I'm counting that correctly, reversing this camera. And then let me stand up. Let's see here. And let's see if I can. And then there is a double repeat at the end. I can't remember if it was a split hem or if I just made it a split hem. But that's what I did. And this was so long ago. I have no idea the yarn. It's something you could get at Michael's. It is cotton. Oddly, it's worsted weight. I almost exclusively work in worsted weight. Anything smaller and my hands just, they don't want to work. So that's what we have there. And we'll take a sip of our coffee and then show you the mug. Yeah. You see that? Let's see if I can put that up close. That is, I believe it's a sandblasted design, if memory serves me correctly. So yarn ball and crochet hook. I did go back and make notes about where that came from. I got this years ago. I was still living on the West Coast temporarily. Um, it is from a company called Bread, as in loaf of bread, and Badger, as in the animal. So Bread and Badger. I believe they're located in Oregon, if memory serves me correctly, but I can't recall correctly. Anyways, the design is crochet hook and yarn. Its current status is that it is retired. If you click on the ordering information, it does seem to indicate you could have it made to order. I have no idea at what cost. Um, and there is a knitting one too, so it's the same type of ball with the two knitting hooks. And that too is also a retired design, so I don't know what it takes to get a copy of that. But like I said, I have this in this awesome lime green, and I also have like a deep, dark, almost indigo blue. It's like, ah, it's gorgeous. And if there's another episode, maybe we'll do it then too. But that is all for that. And so I guess now we will go on to works in progress. Let's see here. Currently is my blanket. I love a granny square corner to corner blanket. It's not a square, it's a rectangle. The pattern is actually for like a little lapgan, but I've made it into like a TV watching thing where it's not full body, just something to kind of have over you if the AC comes on and it's a little too chilly. So it's not a full blanket. I wouldn't even call it a throw. A little bit more than a lapgan. But I have done, oh, probably dozens of these over the last, I don't know, 15 years or more. But currently this is what we have. It is this, hold on, about this wide, so not terribly. Not sure if the color is showing nicely. No, I'm going to have to play with lighting in here. I see. Let's see if you can see it. Ah, that's better if I, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to play with some lighting. But as you see, it is corner to corner. So this is one of the corners and slowly decreasing. And so that's just made with acrylic yarn that I get at Michael's. I guess when I finish it, I'll go over specifically what colors it is and what specific yarns. But it is a kind of a warm tan, kind of a warm, rich pastel pink, and a what I think is a woodland camo. So it's got tans, browns, greens, and pinks in that variegated colorway in the middle. And so it's just a repeat of that. That is deep original learning to crochet. So this particular pattern is called the Biased Corner to Corner Granny. It is a video tutorial online YouTube from 12 years ago, 12, and I reference it constantly. If she is still on YouTube, which I haven't seen anything in a long time, but I watch it constantly because I never know exactly how to do the decrease. I always have to refresh myself on the corners. But her handle is Beth in Texas, so it's Beth in TX, the number 1. On YouTube, and she was amazing when I was first starting out. She has a granny ripple blanket that I made to fit a twin bed, so so half of a regular bed. So because any bigger, and I think that would break my washing machine, honestly. But I have done so many granny ripples and these corner to corner striped, granny striped ones. That's my go-to for gifting baby blankets. My thought is not to do like a newborn blanket. I figure people will get plenty of those swaddling uh, muslins and stuff like that. So I try and do a large, I like to call it a toddler blanket. My game plan is it can be in the car, it can be in the crib once they are old enough to not get you know, because it's a large blanket. So once they're old enough to have things like that in the crib with them, not a parent, I wouldn't know exactly when that time is, but um it's got a lot of holes in it because it's the granny stripe, and I've been told by a lot of moms the kids love to be able to put their fingers through the holes, and it's very tactile. But I figure it makes a great tummy time blanket, and then it can be washed and dried to the nth degree, so no one has to worry about being precious about anything. It's completely, you know, if somebody were to ever need another one, I can, it might not be exact, but I can make you one. So that is my current blanket in progress. I almost always have a blanket going, almost always. Then my other one that I have, other product that I have going on currently is a sweater. It is called the Easy Crochet Granny Stitch Sweater. It is a free blog pattern with a newsletter sign up. Like you have to sign up for the newsletter in order to see it on the blog, like it unghosts. This pattern was updated November of 25, and it is by Michelle Moore of MJ's Off the Hook Designs. Whew. This one's kicking my butt, y'all. I'm not even going to try it on because I'm kind of mad at it at the moment. But it is a top-down raglan. You can kind of see those raglan decreases. Yeah. So, it's in timeout right now. I found a mistake on one of the increases right at the raglan. I don't know if it's something that's going to affect everything or if I can just add in that extra space at the underarm join, which I'm almost to, or if I rip back all those. So it's in timeout. I do not really know how to gauge swatch. I have tried. I have watched so many videos to try and gauge swatch that I just I don't know what it is. I need somebody with the magic explanation to, maybe there's a recipe that's always done and I just have to figure out how to make the pattern repeat into that initial recipe to know. I don't know. So didn't gauge swatch. I know it's a no-no, but if I can't do it, I'm just going to wing it with what I know. The neckline for the sweater is actually supposed to be crochet on the side and, you know, I think back loop to give you that kind of stretchy knit look. I can't. Nope, my brain can't wrap around doing that for 100 rows of single crochet. I think I read it and I was like, absolutely not. I have, no. So what I did was foundation crochet the half double crochet for the same amount of stitches. So my guess is it is going to be wider than had I done the single crochet on the side, you know, and worked and then picked up stitches. Because that, I never know how to pick up things evenly. So I just did my 100 around and then started right into it. So I have a very wide neck on that one. My guess is I'll probably go back, pick up, and work into those foundation chain and make my neckband a little bit wider. That's if I don't put it in timeout for for forever. But anyways, that's where that is. I won't talk about that yarn at this time because I don't know if I'll finish it. And it's just stuff you can get at Michael's. It's nothing fancy. I almost exclusively work in acrylics just because my nerve spicy brain's not going to remember to launder it correctly. So I've got to watch out for myself, really, if we're honest. So that is it for what I am currently working on at the moment. I have recently finished some hat patterns. I know, here in the last month, 2 winter hats. I just wanted to try something quick. I was in the middle of doing this blanket and I just decided I wanted a smaller project. Just kind of didn't lose my mojo, but it definitely slowed for a little bit. So I have some hats here I'll talk about. They are both the same pattern. It is the Wanderlust Beanie. It is also a free blog pattern. And that is by Kirsten Holloway Designs. I do believe I'm saying that. I believe it is Kirsten. And so I did different yarns, I did a different weight yarn than it was recommended, and thus I did it to the recommended hook size of the yarn itself. And so I started out with one for my husband. And so I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to work on lighting. Yeah, definitely going to have to work on lighting. But I left out, there is a pattern where it does front post, back post double crochet, kind of gives it that faux cable-y look. I did not do that repeat for my husband because I didn't think that looked too manly, but there are several rows where there is the back post, so you get some raised spots there that give it a little accent, and I just chose the variegated yarn. He's got a favorite hat that the yarn got discontinued, and I'm just on this massive mission to figure out how to come up with a replacement. The one I made him, I actually made on the Addie King. So it's circular knitting, but I just can't get a yarn that has the same drape. I think it was Lion King Mandala tweed stripes. And I just lament the day they discontinued that and wish I had gotten more yarn. All right, so that one was for him. And then I decided to go completely rogue on the pattern. So this one is for me and my favorite color. It's a kind of ombre green. And this one I did do the front post, back post, so you can see that a little bit better on this one here. Now, on the top, it is worked from the top down, but I wanted, I've got a lot of hair, so it's easier for me to do the ponytail hat. And so I just grabbed a wide, like fabric-y, not your typical scrunchy elastic band. It's more of that thicker, almost looks like pantyhose, but I guess that kind of dates how old I am. Anyways, so I just kind of skipped the first, I think, 2 rounds and then crocheted around the elastic hair tie and made that. And so far, they have both been laundered and survived. So that was step 1, and they both fit our heads. So step 2, we'll see how. The thing with my husband's hat is it always after time rides up, and that's the thing, same thing with my hat too. With my hair, it will ride up. So that's why I have to have the ponytail holder so I can hold it down. But enough about that. That is the finished project, and I think that is all I have right now as far as finished projects. So yeah, let me know recommendations as far as how is the sound quality. I do know I need to work on lighting. I'll get my husband to help me with that. I've got lighting above and front. I've actually got two windows. I'm between two windows and then they're reflecting off of a mirror in the back. So I was hoping that would be enough, plus a side window. Was really hoping that would be enough here at 11 a.m. here on this hot July 2nd. Um, but I guess not, and we'll have to play around with that, get some better lighting. So let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. I don't even know if my old videos are up. They're probably from 7 years ago. My original unboxing of my bread and badger. So I think if those are still up on my original YouTube, you'll see both of them. But thanks for joining. Thanks for commenting. Let me know what you think. And other things to talk about. Because like I said, I don't do a lot of crochet enough. So I do have other things I would like to chit chat about if you're interested. Let me know some ideas. I do occasionally read a couple things, not a prolific reader by any sorts, but occasionally I'll read a book or listen to an audiobook. So let me know what your thoughts are and what you think, and we'll see you soon.